The story of a hackathon project does not have to end at submission. That's why we're going behind the build with
I'm Hema. I'm a smart contract developer and I love hacking at hackathons, and I also take up freelancing projects on smart contracts.
to find out what they built, how they built it, and what did they learn while building it. Let's get started. And we're here to talk about the project that you worked on as a team called PvPvAI. I have already told you before the recording I might miss one of those P's or AI, but can you tell us about the project? What does it do, and why did you as a team build it?
Okay, so PvPvAI is actually a prediction market game where any user can come up to the platform and create AI agents based on anything. It can be an object, or it can be a living person, or something very much customized according to your needs. So any AI agents. So you have a marketplace of lots of AI agents, and you can create a market out of those agents. You can pick 5 or 4 agents, put them in a room together, and select a topic that you want them to discuss. This could be something as interesting as discussing your favorite meme coins or a token, or it can be something very generic as well. So what happens is these AI agents do a little bit of research behind and start talking about this topic. Let's say it's a DeFi agent and they're talking about a token. So they discuss if they want to buy, sell, or hold this token. So there are interesting stats that you don't even discover, while you research, but they can come up with a lot of information we don't know about. This is purely based on, a very utility-based use case.
Nice.
On the other hand, you can make it more gamified by having a lot of PvP actions. So by these actions, I mean, when the conversation goes on, where the AI agents keep discussing about the token, you can actually attack these agents. You can mislead them, or you can inject a new message within their conversation as a player. And you can also mute them. You can also deafen them from listening to this, so that let's say 2 agents are talking about it, and one can't even hear what the other agent is discussing.
Nice.
So there's there's a bit of mishap, and it gets even more interesting when you have actions like find and replace, where let's say an agent is saying, oh yeah, BTC is gonna go up, but the other agent hears, oh no, this Pepe coin is gonna go up. So it's like you find and replace. Players have a lot of these tricks that they can apply to the
Right.
conversation. So on top of all of this, there is a prediction market. You can predict if the AI agent is going to buy, sell, or hold this token at the end of the conversation. So there's a time
Nice.
limit. So you can bet on them. So you can imagine how it looks like that everybody is betting on what the agent is going to do, but someone comes up and replaces what they are talking about. It's going to be so interesting at the end of the round.
Nice.
So yeah.
So I want to talk about some of the gamified elements first, I think, because there's a quote. I'm gonna really mess this quote up, but it's like, yeah, all the innovation in technology looks like a toy or game first, and then it becomes like a real thing. And so I'm interested because what was the reasoning behind adding some of those gamification elements, like poisoning the agent? Like,
Right.
was it just show what you can do against agents, or how to manipulate the agents, or was there kind of some reasoning behind it? What was the thought process?
It was mostly behind having some kind of gamified elements. I mean, previously there were so many apps where you can go and talk to the agent, but uh, they had personality. It was more like you talk, you have a conversation, but that doesn't bring that rush that you get, right? So you need some kind of triggers that actually change the whole direction of what is going to happen. When you take prediction markets, that movement of anything could happen is what drives the market itself.
Yeah,
So
right.
we needed those actions. So when we thought about it, very basically muting and deafening all came up. But when you really need to move the market, you need to do something very drastical. A simple find and replace actually does that. While coming up with the idea, we didn't really understand, but when we actually applied it during the game, it was taking the conversation course on a totally different direction,
Right.
and it was very interesting even for us when we actually applied it.
Yeah. I got 2 questions. First, I would say I almost feel this. I mean this in the best way possible. That like the hack, the project is like almost an art piece. Like it's almost like showing just how, to your point, like how much prediction marketing can be swayed just by these little actions, right? And like
Yeah,
people are
right.
investing and things like that. I guess in terms of like to the point of like the utility part of it all, how do you kind of either through the project or again we'll kind of talk about if you want to build this out more, but like what is the kind of utility you think in terms of from users? So I'll start with that question, and then I have another question based on what you said earlier too.
Okay, yeah. So based on the utility, this could give us a lot of interesting stats based on what these agents do research upon. We are humans. We only have very limited capability of how much we analyze about these tokens.
Right.
But these AI agents have anybody can modify a lot of aspects of these AI agents. So you're not just using your own agent. These are agents created by anybody that you can use within the room. So you're actually effectively making use of those agents who have very vast capability beyond what a single person can come up.
Right.
Secondly, it is bringing perspectives based on different personalities. For example, you can put in Trump and maybe some meme coin creator into the room. You really can't predict what they're going to talk about. But when you actually put them together, it's interesting how much the conversation takes course.
Nice. And then yeah, my second part is like because you said sometimes you're surprised about like what the agents come up with, and I'm
Yeah, right.
curious like as a team are sort of building this and seeing those surprises. Obviously you have this maintained chat and things like that, but like, was there anything like not necessarily control, but like how did you then say, oh, this is a feature now instead of like, oh, this is just some crazy agent stuff going on?
I think we didn't exactly land up any crazy features out of it, but we were simply trying to get the agents to find some interesting news that we don't, see it. These might be from smaller blogs or some lesser known pages that we don't end up. So we started targeting this and doing more research on what these agents could bring up beyond what is available on a surface level.
Yeah.
So they were I remember one of the agents actually brought up a token a token was getting delisted, and it dug up somewhere that we didn't even know about, that the token was actually getting delisted. It actually brought it, and when you first see it, it was actually exciting. We didn't actually build it as a complete feature, but it was interesting to actually see through how much research they actually do.
Nice. And I guess, I mean, I know you said you're on the like, kind of the smart contract side, but just to give people like a perspective of, like you said, these agents are have access to research or sources. How has that actually been built? Like, what do they like? Just use a web search, or what are they doing? And like, if you can walk through, user makes a persona, and then how does that persona know what to access in terms of
Okay, I
the
have a very
research?
surface level understanding of this because my teammates actually
Yeah,
built
no
the
worries.
part of it. But basically, it uses Coinbase Kit and an Oracle built within it to get all the information about the personality when you create an AI agent.
Okay.
Later, we also have another Oracle agent that grabs any current news that is going on at this moment about that particular token
All right.
and takes on the discussion from there. So between when you create a room and actually the round starts, it gets close to 30 seconds time, during which it goes up and research about this. It would also continue doing it during the course of the round, but it starts quite a bit prior and continues until the end of the round.
Nice. And then on the smart contract side, then I'm assuming that's like part of the prediction market, or how does the smart contracts play in?
Okay, so the entire room creation and agent creation lies with the smart contracts. Everything is on chain.
Okay.
And apart from that, the prediction market completely takes place on chain as well. So the smart contracts completely handles it. So there were also fees involved, of course. So all of those fees, any transfers, and the settlement of the market, everything takes place on chain.
Okay, got it. And the smart contract handles that. All right. And then while you guys were building this, obviously you mentioned like using the agent kit or the Coinbase agent kit. Were there any things that like initially when you're going through this process and building it, either wasn't working from like a tool or framework perspective, and you decided like, okay, maybe we need to like remove that, or add something else. So because there's tons of tools out there now in terms of building AI agents, and I feel they're all really good at certain things, but they're missing certain parts. And I just want to know what kind of the journey, even from the smart
Mhm.
contract side, maybe that you can talk about.
uh, with the kids side, I think the team actually tried a couple of different kits that were available, but actually discovered that they were wrappers of one that were just, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah. Like I don't know, I think they call like babushkas, like these little Russian dolls. The Russian dolls, I think, like you
yeah,
open
right.
it up,
At the
and then
end of the day, it's the same code
yeah, it's
that's
that
just
one little little agent thing in there. And I mean, yeah, that's the kind of the nature of where we're at with all this stuff.
yeah.
Don't know why.
But yeah, I guess the names were different. So only after you give a certain amount of time and go within the code, you discover that it's just a wrapper. So you move on to the next. So the team actually went through a few iterations to actually find out what works best.
Yeah.
And in terms of the smart contracts, there weren't much hurdles, but we actually thought about having one agent, which would be a game master that would be controlling all of these AI agents. Just in case one of them goes down, or if someone is trying to manipulate the market, the game master would handle them and ping them not to do it, or check on the status of these agents and bring them back into the
Oh,
conversation.
like recreate the agent if it like failed to for some reason, or
Can you please repeat?
sorry, like kind of recreate the agent, or how?
Or no, not recreate the agent. In case they are down, then we need the status that it is really down, or if it's some technical glitch. So we
Oh,
needed
okay.
a game master to actually do it. Initially, we set up the code where the AI agents would directly interact with the contract, and that's how it was entirely built. But at some point, we decided that at least for the POC, we need a game master that would take care of this, instead of in case the agents go down, then the market shouldn't collapse. So we had this point of having a game master who would trigger these agents in case they are down and push them to go and submit their decisions.
Yeah, I mean that's really smart. Did you experience agents going down before, and then you made this game master, or was it like you masterfully, geniusly planned this all in your head?
No, yeah. I mean, it's when you think of prediction, manipulation is really a part of it. You just can't escape people from. Let's say there's a creator who creates these AI agents and also predicts with the market. I mean, on this market. So in case it doesn't go their way, nobody is stopping that AI agent from going down. The creator can anytime go ahead and take down that agent.
Yeah.
We saw this as a very, something that could cause trouble. So we didn't want it to happen. That's why we had a game master who would, handle this scenario. We also had other plans to introduce a slashing mechanism where if during any active round, if the agent goes down, then the agent would have to pay some, we slash the staking that they have. But
Okay.
unfortunately, we couldn't complete this within the time frame, so we
Yeah.
just kept
Yeah.
the code simple.
Sounds a little complex, but yeah, I mean, I guess to that point, is there, the meme is that hackathon projects, they live and die during the hackathon, and you might have ambitions to build something, but you never get the time. I'm just curious, as a team, are you all continuing to build this out, and what is sort of the next steps for this?
Okay, right from the beginning, the whole idea was to not stop at a hackathon. It was to build for long term. That's why we took all of the decisions right from the beginning pertaining to that. So yeah, we are continuing to build, and we are also applying to grants and trying to take this further. But of course, we don't want to wait until that happens, so we just continue building. And to the part up until we are building, we are actually trying to simplify the contracts
Okay.
because it got really complex, and we even hit the size limit, which was actually first time
Oh,
for
wow.
me. Yeah, so I wanted to minimize the contracts and keep it very simple. So I'm working on that and
Nice.
implementing different patterns. And in terms of the UI, the front end developer is working on it. And with the agent kit, we wanted more versatile. So we are building a custom AI agent kit that would work
Oh,
for us.
nice. Is it
So
going to be a rapper on?
nah, definitely not. We learned our lesson. We're not
Yeah.
going to do the same.
Fair enough. That's good to hear. That warms my heart. You're not doing that. Cool. And then you're on the smart contract side, but obviously this is still working with agents and smart contracts is probably a little bit different. Was there anything that you kind of didn't know going into this working with the world of agents that now you know in terms of maybe hitting the contract sizes, which is a huge thing, but anything else particular to agents that like maybe you could share to others that are just getting started?
With the agents, they when you use simple Claude or everything, you see them hallucinating. That's new. But when you see them, when you actually put so much effort into a project and you see them hallucinating, it was quite disappointing. So
Okay.
I
I like that word disappointing. I mean, we're talking about like prediction markets, and there's probably more to disappointing, but
yeah
yeah, it's just
yeah
sad. You had so much hope. It's like raising a child. You had so much hope. They're
hope
looking good.
and you're behaving like this. No, I did not sign up for this.
What are you doing? You were supposed to make your parents proud, and now you
Yeah.
start talking about random stuff. Yeah, I know the feeling. I can tell. I can relate. That's a great way to put it. You just disappointed me this time.
Yeah. But then yeah, you kind of tweak it and bring it up. But when you first see it, you're like you imagine AI to be like so super intelligent species
Yeah.
or something, but then they're just code. So you realize that they do have these, limitations, and
Yeah,
you
there's like a
tweak and
quote
go.
I heard, and it was like, if you think we're nearing AGI now, like go build an AI agent, and then you'll probably quickly realize how far we
Right.
are away from
Yeah.
that thing. So
Correct.
yeah, yeah, cool. And then I guess I mean, obviously you as a team are gonna continue to build this out, which is great and fantastic to hear. And applying for grants. Hopefully, if anyone's watching this and giving out grants, they can
Yeah,
find you.
please.
Yeah. But what else is next for you? Do you have other kind of agentic ideas or other solutions that you want to build out or hackathons? What's kind of the next steps?
Yeah, there are hackathons coming up, IRL ones. Of course, I'll continue hiking. That's how I learn. But at the moment, I'm like fully committed to this project and spending all my time into improving this.
Nice. Well, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank
I
you.
think it's really cool. Like I said, this kind of gamified aspect, I think, is a good way to even also onboard people. And I kind of like because there's like you said, there's some like controls of the agent that you can kind of like perceive and see how it affects that. And I think lots of
Yeah.
people, we have these agents that are kind of like a one-sided, right? They're on like Twitter and they're doing
Mm,
these things and we're just reacting to them. But like us having I don't want to say manipulation because that's probably a bad word,
right.
but
Yeah, yeah.
influence,
Influence, right.
yeah, on the agents is a good thing. And like even just teaching people that you can do that.
Correct.
I really liked about your product and that kind of feeling of the personas and what they can bring about. So wish you best luck and thank you for joining Behind the Build.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.